Welcome to 12-Minute Talks, where important information is shared in a short time period. Learn from other business owners, entrepreneurs, and experts about what they do to help you find solutions to everyday topics in 12 minutes or less. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 12-Minute Talks podcast. I'm excited to have with us today Joshua Wilson. He helps other businesses create their own podcasts. Joshua, thank you so much for being on today.
Hey, thank you for having me. This is pretty cool. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, so podcast is one of those things that they say every business should have, and we all wonder like why should a business have a podcast, right? But before we get into that, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and how you got started in this industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up on a construction site and swinging hammers with my dad. And my thought was he was really good at building. He could paint a straight line. And I was the demo guy. I was good at demo and people, right? That's pretty much all I was good at. But my thought was is if he could build it, I could sell it. So that kind of started me on my entrepreneurial journey. I became a real estate agent and then started working with investors. And then I found out that that was my niche, working with people with money. But along the journey, lots of failures, and this we could explore all of those. But that's how I got started as an entrepreneur, business owner.
Awesome. So working together with your dad, that's pretty cool. I work with my mom, so it's that can be challenging sometimes, but it's always a good memory, right, to have.
Oh, one of the
Um,
best. It's great.
Yeah, and so what do you tell us a little bit about how you help businesses create a podcast and why they should have a podcast?
Yeah, well, I started my first podcast maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I started a podcast because I was building a fitness technology company. I had the opportunity to work with a venture capital firm, and I had the opportunity to really see a lot of kind of business building, how to scale a business, how to grow a business, how to sell a business. So I created my first one, and I would interview my clients. And I would ask them, what's working for you? What's not working for you? And what I found with having that kind of podcast is my client testimonials, their stories helped me sell so I didn't have to. So when I kind of went through the first one, I've built maybe seven or so podcasts. I've consulted and built a lot of different podcasts. I've sold one. We've done 500 or so interviews. So I started that. That was the first time I built it, and it was a lot of fun because my clients were kind of selling for me, sharing their story, and I got to highlight them, which made them feel good. Since then, we built a bunch of different ones, but that's kind of how I got started. I kind of stumbled upon it kind of early on.
Um, in 2021, right? Start a podcast. What's in it for them, I guess,
Yeah.
as far as doing that.
That's a great question. I think right now we experienced in 2020 a complete shutdown of the world, right? Where a salesperson like me could used to be able to go door to door and knock on doors and meet people all day, go to networking events, and I could always be around people if I wanted to. But what we saw last year was an immediate change in how we did business. So everybody now is doing Zoom and they're trying to get on LinkedIn real fast or Clubhouse or Parlor and all these other things that are standing up real fast. So the people who have a podcast, businesses that have a podcast can still have conversations with people like you and I are doing here, and they could use that content to sell their product, to help promote their partners, to help get information out to the mass media. And then they could chop it up and use it as a sales tool, marketing tool, such like that. So I think that's important for business owners, especially in this weird time that we're all in, where you have to be able to sell virtually. And this is just a good way to do it. It's not expensive, and it's a way that you can kind of monitor how your sales process goes.
Definitely. And I think, yeah, with the pandemic, one thing it brought a lot more was doing things virtually a lot quicker,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
I always saw this happening, just nobody expected it to happen, in like a month or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And so, Joshua, what do you tell us a little bit about what sets you apart from maybe others in your industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So I believe, I think that podcasts have been going on since early 2000s, right? Like, but they've kind of just started getting hot maybe within the past 5 years. And what I think is really good about what sets me apart is As more and more podcasts come, I think that there should be more and more to come. Right, a lot of people who believe in competition are trying to keep people out of it, trying to hide their secrets. Right. What I do is I share the secrets on like how to make money podcasting, or how to grow an audience, or how to get guests or partners or corporate sponsorships. So like I believe in sharing that because I believe that there's much more opportunity when people collaborate rather than trying to compete and hide and protect your stuff, because there's nothing new under the sun. It's very affordable and easy to get started with a podcast. So it's like we might as well collaborate and find out ways how to work together rather than, try to hide in a little box and hope nobody steals your great idea.
Right, right. Or what I'm seeing more and more is like, oh, buy this course to learn how to do this and that. And a lot of that stuff realistically, I mean not all of it, right? But some of it you can just, go on YouTube and probably find it as well, you know.
Yeah,
Um
exactly.
I think, all of that of like hiding what I do and stuff, I think that's just more of like that scarcity mentality where
Hmm.
like, there's not enough for everybody and I'm like, there's more than enough. Like what do you think about people saying that podcasts are oversaturated?
Uh, for those people, they're right. But for people who don't have the scarcity mindset, like you were saying, for those people, there's never enough good content, right? So everyone's right now fighting for an audience. So it's going to get harder. Just like when YouTube first started, you could put a video and it would get, 100,000 views overnight. Like I have a video that I created, a fitness video, and it has hundreds of thousands, right? So now that YouTube, that was years ago, maybe 7 years ago. It was a long time ago. Now it's harder to get that same kind of audience. So you have to be more strategic. You have to be smarter about who are you talking to. You have to be better with your niche. You have to be better with your search terms. And you just sometimes people look at audience as a measure of success. And the thing is you cannot use that. It's a vanity metric. It doesn't mean anything. Likes, comments, shares, that just makes you feel good and it validates something in our soul that goes, we want to be liked. But you can't cash those in. Okay. If you figure
Yeah,
that out, you tell me, guys.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like on Instagram, you see these people with like a million followers, and then when you go look at their account, they have like 10 likes. So, like,
Right.
either that's fake or something's going on. And I always ask myself that too. Like, okay, you have all these people following you, but how are you monetizing that? Is that really going back into your revenue as a business owner, right?
Yeah.
Because we all have bills to pay at the end of the day,
Yeah.
like they say.
Yeah, I
Um,
went to my electric company. I said, "Hey, could I cash in some of these likes?" And they said, "No. I have 20,000 followers on LinkedIn. I'll pay you some with those." They didn't care. They wanted the money, right?
yeah, so social currency is still not, you
Exactly.
can't pay things with that. I heard in China though they're doing something with that, like people are getting reviews, or I don't know, I heard something
Oh,
weird.
wow.
That sounds like a theory, so we're not gonna get into
There you go.
that. Yeah. And and so Joshua, how can somebody get a hold of you if they would like more information about working with you?
Yeah, if someone wants to just explore opportunities, we have a holding company, Kingdom Syndicate, that people can go to. Kingdom Syndicate. Listen, I have really crappy websites. I don't spend a lot of money on those. I do a lot of my deals people to people, and a lot of it is done virtually. But people could go to kingdomsyndicate.com. They could learn a little bit about us, see some of the podcast shows that we've created, some of the interviews that we've done, and a lot of times you'll be able to see the kind of people that we work with and the kind of people that we help promote and build. So that's a good place. Josh at Kingdom Syndicate is my email address, and those are good places to start. We have a podcast show called Uncensored Advice for Men. We have a local business talk show. We're working on a investor club right now. We've done Orlando Entrepreneurs and just a handful of others from our partners, but that's a good place to start.
Fantastic. That's definitely great information. And like always, we'll put all of the links down below on the notes, so everyone listening or watching this video can easily access Joshua and get some more information about him and what he does. Joshua, it's been great having you on the 12-Minute Talks podcast, and I do have a random question for you.
Yeah,
Uh,
bring it.
all right. What would you say is the last good book that you read?
So I'm going through a book right now. It's with one of my Bible studies that I'm in, and it's called Battlefield of the Mind. And I'm only like halfway into it, but it's by a lady named Joyce Meyer. She's a great author, great teacher. And being an entrepreneur, being a small business owner, a lot of the challenges we face are between our two ears. We're scared. We have a different, a scarcity mindset, or fear of failure. All these kind of things happen. So I think as a business owner, if we could train our brain to kind of push through fears or anxieties or depression, and just how to deal with the battlefield that's going on in your brain, I think that's a really good book. It's challenging me, and yeah, I definitely recommend people take a look at what it was written years ago, but it's still true today.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Mindset is very important, and it seems to be a very popular topic
Yeah,
nowadays. It's like you can't escape it, right?
exactly.
Um, Great. So, Joshua, is there anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, I love what you're doing. I think it's really good. For all your guests out there, you have such a great example of having a podcast, and helping share other people's message and such. So you're doing a really great job, and I just want to encourage you and what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Keep it up, and everybody like and give her a review. Go to wherever you're listening and give her a review. Give her comments and say what she's doing is a great thing. That is so valuable to podcast hosts. So go over to her sites, whether it's on Amazon or Google or Apple or IMDb, wherever it is. Give her a great review. But that's my
It's
input.
awesome. Thank you so much. It's all over the internet, so I'm sure people will find it.
There you go.
Joshua, thank you so much for this valuable information.
You're welcome. Have a great day, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you for listening to this podcast and hope you will listen to the next one. I'm Lorena Tomasini, and you can contact me via email life@malmins.com. Make it a great day.